Right, welcome to Teach the Troddler, and we're off on another troddle today. We're off for an ex-work colleague's birthday to Manchester for another pub crawl, so it's going to be mainly old pubs with the odd new one thrown in, but we're outside Huddersfield Station because we had to come this way. So there's old Errol Wilson and some magnificent Corinthian columns. So yeah, should be a good day. Weather looks alright, it's warm enough but not too warm, so we should have a good time. But yeah, I hope you welcome along for the journey. I hope you enjoy this one. Right, just pulled into Manchester Victoria, but just look at these old tiles here on this refreshment room. Yeah, pretty impressive. Right, up to the hotel, drop off the bags and start a little ale trail. Right, so we've all just had a breakfast and something to drink in Witherspoons, and now we're on the proper trail. So to start off with, this is the first pub. This is the Seven Oaks, and the Seven Oaks is a tiny sports bar at the bottom of Nicholas Street, and it was established back in 1824. And despite being nearly 200 years old, the interior has a 1920s vibe, so it's got a bit of an Art Deco look to it. And it's got a solid wooden bar with ornate carvings and stunning stained glass windows above the bottles and liquor, and a staircase made of metal spindles shaped like an Art Deco design. So it's all really Art Deco here, apart from the put seven televisions in it to watch sport, so that's good because Manchester United are about to play. So yeah, that's the first one. We'll take some pictures inside. We'll do a bit of a tart up, it's looking a bit sorry for itself, but yeah, nice nonetheless. Now, I was going to say finally at the Marble Arch, and thank goodness for that, because we were getting ready to lynch me, I can tell you. But yeah, this is the outside of the Marble Arch, and the Marble Arch is probably one of the most iconic pubs in Manchester. It was built in 1888 as a show house for the brewery McKenna's, and in 1997 it became the birthplace of the Marble Brewery, which the brewery soon outgrew the building, but it remains their flagship pub. It's got a fine barrel vaulted ceiling and decorative fresser covered up during the alterations in 1954, but was revealed again in the early 1980s. A mosaic sloping floor leading you inextricably to the bar, and it has glazed tiled walls, so sounds like quite a splendid pub. Sincerely hope so, because that's the longest walk out. It's been about 20 minutes, so fingers crossed the pint's good when we get inside. Right, we're now at the Crown and Kettle. Right, so this pub goes back a long way. So the Crown and Kettle is a Grade 2 listed building. It's a free house, and it used to be called the Dish and Cob of Cole, and was closed by Manchester City Council in 1989 after a very big fight between Manchester United and Man City fans. What a terrible state of affairs. But it's right up there with probably one of the most amazing pubs in Manchester. It's an historic watering hole going back to 1734. The building has a storied history, and it served as a courthouse before it made it into a pub in the 19th century. So yeah, it's renowned for its ceiling. It's really, really unusual. It's got loads of craft beers and what have you. It's been refurbished a few times, so it'll be modernised to an extent, but I think all the really, really important features remain intact. But yeah, it looks quite a fantastic building. Unfortunately, the only downside to the place, it's quite near Etihad, so there's a few blues around here, but I'll keep that quiet. Right, we've got a bit of an off-piste moment here now. We're going to go to one that we've not got on the list, but this one here is called the City. Not right keen on naming for being truthful. Established in 1804. It's got quite a nice, nice sort of like, what do you call it, a mural or whatever you're above there, but really, really nice. But yeah, so we're going into the City. Hate that name. But yeah, if you look at it, it is like going back into the 6. It's going, we're going heading back up there next, so all good fun, really good so far. Right, we've come out of the City, which redeemed itself because it had some Manchester United stuff in there, so that's all right. So we're now at the Millstone, and the Millstone, as you can see there, right, is on Thomas Street, and it goes back on 1844. The Millstone, it shows a pub on this site, but it was slightly different. It was called the Fountain Inn. It's a former Wilson's pub, but it was acquired by J.W. Lees in 2004, and the landlord, Jed Ford, was the landlord in 1996, and he witnessed the Manchester bombing in 1996. And Jed apparently was quite a legend. He said there were thieves and vagabonds used to frequent this pub, so whether they'll think like that today, I don't know, but I'll tell you what, it sounds very, very lively in there. They've obviously made it very popular, so let's go inside and see what it's like. Oh, I've just heard they've got karaoke on. This could be interesting. Now I want to start this recording again because we had my rowdy crowd spoiling it. So yes, the Millstone, the last pub, was absolutely the favourite. Karaoke, very, very popular. They were last singing a bit of Tina Turner, and she went down very, very well, very, very good. So the next pub is the Bull's Head, and the Bull's Head is quite historic. It opened up in 1786, and the licensee was Maria Lowcock. In the late 1800s, it up until most recent time, it kept a modest house for evenings only, so it didn't open through the day. It's now owned by the Marston Group and Pedigree Bitter, and it's apparently for the more discerning drinkers, so I don't know if that fits in with the people that are going to go into it today, but hopefully it's quite nice inside. I brought my way from a really rowdy pub into a quiet pub, so I'm hoping I'm not going to get lynched for this. But then after this one, we're going to have us mid-interval break, in that we're going to go back to the hotel and get changed, and then we're out for the night. There's some absolute crackers tonight. There is the odd new pub as well, but the majority of them are still old and absolutely magnificent. So far Manchester has definitely delivered. I hope you've enjoyed watching. So this for a fire station. You wanted how far we slip. Look, all these doors where the ones have been fire engines coming out of it. Amazing. Right, we've just been looking to a lovely curry house called Asher. Absolutely fantastic as that. So we're now back on, we're all changed and ready to go out. So the next one that we're at is the Old Monkey. And the Old Monkey is actually the first modern pub that we've been to. So this is actually the it got built by the brewers from Manchester called Joseph Holt. And it's the first ever new build house in the city. And it was built on the site of the Queen's Arms. It opened in 1993 to great acclaim. The early success of the Monkey, inspired by the Holt, encouraged them to open another one called the Ape and Apple. It's set on 2 floors with downstairs, seldom anything else than a buzz. Customers definitely enjoying the trade. Popular with tourists like me. So yeah, really good. So interested to see what it's like inside. There's not going to be any old features. We've just added this onto the list because it's convenient and there's 2 old places right next door. So anyhow, it looks alright. So we'll go in there and have a quick twist and then we'll move on. Right, we're now outside the Circus Tavern. Let's say we've just been to the Old Monkey, so it's literally 5 minutes away, well 5 seconds away, it's like doing, but it's reputed as the smallest bar in Europe. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but it's on Portland Street, and it was built in about 1790, and it's also one of the oldest pubs in Manchester. Although it became a pub in about 1840, so that ties it in with quite a lot of other ones, but it's partly owned by Tetley's. I don't know if they still own it, Tetley's. Which is obviously a Yorkshire brewery, and there's quite a few photos of our man Mr. Best in there, because well, he frequented it because they all did, didn't he? But yeah, it was listed in 1994, so let's see how small and compact this place is. Right, I've got to admit the old Circus Tavern is quite small, so the next one on the agenda is this place, the Grey Horse Inn, and that's equally, well, by all accounts, almost as small. And this was converted into, from weavers' cottages and started selling beer in 1851. The licensee were a Mr. and Mrs. Rustrick. So it's a friendly single room affair, which I suppose it's got to be friendly if it's a single room affair. So I think there is it was originally 2 rooms and a small yard for those who smoke. So yeah, it vies with the Circus for being the smallest pub, but fails miserably into second place. But eventually, I don't know, 20 yards between the Old Monkey, the Circus Tavern and the Grey Horse. So quite close. So these 3 are close together. They're making a bit of a move. Right, moving on, right, we're at the Lasagowri, right, which is, I can't tell you how long I want it to come down here, but before we get onto the pub itself, I'm just going to show you something here. It says, here was the site of the oldest pissotiere retained for prosperity, last used in 1896, and basically it was a public urinal. You walked up to it and you wanted to take a leak, and you can't see it with this balcony over here. Overlooks, goes over straight on the top of the River Medway, so quite a fantastic one. My idea that once upon a time you just walked it. Could do with using a pissotiere right now, so I might have to go inside and do that, but this thing's beautiful. So I'll give you history at Lassigary in a moment. Right, so we're outside the Lassigary pub. Just spin you around and you can have a look. So yeah, the Lassigary pub is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful pub. It really, really is. And legend has it, the original landlord of the pub was not an Irishman, but a proud homesick Scotsman who named the pub in honour of his favourite poem, The Lass o' Gowrie, written by the celebrated Scottish poet Lady Carolina Nairn. Sitting sweetly between the bank of the River Medlock, just up the road from the Oxford Road, the Lassigary was an ancient and venerable Irish but originally Scottish pub, and obviously a Manchester landmark. So it appears back on maps up until the early 1844, but probably before then. But it used to stand next to the Garrett cotton mill, and obviously the Garrett we're going to come on to in a little while. But this pub, and I've obviously talked about the Pissotier, but this pub here was right in the slap bang in the middle of a place called Little Island. And when you're talking about the start of the Industrial Revolution, this place was as rough as a bear's you know what, and the poverty in this place was just incredible. But yeah, the Lassigary had been a place where after first day at work they might have been able to afford a pint. But yeah, absolutely love it. It's got loads of glazed tiles on the outside of the building. It's a beautiful, beautiful pub. Right, we're outside of Salisbury now, which is Salisbury, if you want to call it Salisbury, I think I'd call it. But yeah, but absolutely magnificent. Another tiled pub, and it's behind. It's set behind the Grand Central on Oxford Road, and it's one of the oldest pubs, favourite for bikers and rockers by all accounts. So I thought they used to play a lot of rock music there. But yeah, the sign also confirms the historic significance of the area. So obviously, like I said before, we were in Little Island, and in the 1849 map, the Salisbury was originally named the Tullagorum Tavern. So it also looks back into you can sort of see what sort of buildings were surrounding it, grim back-to-back houses of the likes of Great Marlborough Street, Wakefield Street, and Anvil Street. So, like I said, quite a rough area around here. I mean, what it must have been like for them people. I mean, true poverty. When they come over, it only lasts about 50 years, and the majority of it was cleaned out. And but it's obviously you can see the Kimpton Tower of the Kimpton Hotel across the road. So there's obviously some big buildings as well. But yeah, this is sort of like last one now, last real old pubs. We've got one more to go after this, and then that's it. Right, it's going to be the last pub tonight. This is going to be the Garrett, which is not that remarkable pub. It's built in front of a 1970s block of flats here, right? But the Garrett pub's really, it's quite unremarkable, but the building itself is quite, it's got quite a story. So the map of Manchester from 1793 shows that there is a pub on this site where once Garrett Hall stood, which had been there since the 16th century, and it was subsequently called, there were lots of things around here called Garrett, so there were Garrett Dye Works, Garrett Mill, Garrett Bridge, and a few other things. So it would have been hard work living here, but you know, back in them times it had been quite a rough sort of thing. But the Garrett obviously is more modern in its approach, in its building and what have you, but like I said, the history and the reason for calling here is to go to the site where the Garrett Hall used to be in the 18th century. So that brings us to an end of the Ale Trail, the second Ale Trail for Manchester. It's been absolutely fabulous. It's been a really good contrast to the first Ale Trail. Well, I really hope you enjoyed it. We've had a wonderful time, and I include you in that we. So until next time, Please like and subscribe, all that Maloney. But until next time, take care of yourselves. Cheers.